send an other song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 523. It's Friday, June 21st, 2013. The first day of summer. 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Internet talk radio for your imagination. Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today we hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley. Plus, we bring you the segment News Random, where we look at some interesting stories concerning your health. Mike's Daily Podcast. And getting divorced does somehow take a toll not only on your wealth, Mike's Daily Podcast, but on your psyche, because when you're in your 40s and you're back in the dating pool and you're looking around and there are women that look right through you like you're a ghost because you're like not the young Henry Cavill type. He's the guy who plays Superman. I haven't seen that movie. Probably won't, all right? Because I am done with comic book movies. Mike's Daily Podcast. Seriously, I can wait till I see them on Netflix. I don't need to be in a theater. For me, that's groovy. Mike's. Maybe that's why Daily people see right through me. Podcast. Because I am a anti-establishment type person. I'm fading into the woodwork. I am growing out my long gray hair. No, I'm not actually, because I don't have hair. The goatee. That's what it is. The gray hair and the goatee is growing out. And soon I will smell like patchouli. And I will fade away, as people do in Northern California, into the hillsides where they grow interesting plants. Oh, look who just walked in. Hello, Michael Matthews. This is Madame Rootabega. You like patchouli? Michael Matthews, I love it. I used to bathe in it, but then I realized people are starting to faint around me. But I don't do that anymore, Michael Matthews. I have not faded into the network. You haven't? No. I love to be around people of all types. Even people like you, Michael Matthews. You can see me? I thought I was a ghost. Ha ha ha! No, there's a ghost next to you. What? Who? I can't see him. Who is it? Benjamin Franklin. Ooh, wow, he's a smart guy. Maybe some of his intelligence will rub off on me. Not a chance. Oh, look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the backhand.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Guys, do you have any advice for me so that, women don't see right through me?
They should see right through you, because that's the way that a woman gets to know you, is she can see right into your head.
Yeah, one time a woman saw right into my spleen. It kind of freaked me out. Do you know that? Wow, relationship advice from Valentino and Bison Bentley. So this is an interesting thing. I was at the open mic last night in Livermore. I went to two of them last night. The same one I went to the week previous. Did a couple of my songs, and people saw right through me because I am a ghost. But they actually didn't, because they applauded, so they must have seen me, or at least heard me, or something to that effect. But there was a guy out front, and I see a lot of these people outside of places that they have open mics, because they're usually at bars or coffee houses or places like that. And there was a guy standing out front, and he was smoking on an e-cigarette, which I don't know how those things work at all. I am not a smoker. I've never been a smoker. I am quite the square. But apparently, European ministers are proposing regulating e-cigarettes, according to online.wsj.com. European health ministers moved today to restrict the sale of electronic cigarettes, firing the opening salvo in a fight underway on both sides of the Atlantic as the industry picks up more users and big investors. E-cigarettes are battery-powered devices that turn nicotine-laced liquids into vapor. And several European countries have already set their own rules. There are no EU laws on the devices, and industry lobbyists have been hard at work in Brussels to secure a lighter touch. National restrictions are easily skirted in any case, since many sales happen over the internet. In the U.S., however, some individual cities and states have enacted restrictions, but there's no federal regulation. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration which warned of potential health risks in 2009, has said it is planning regulations that would treat them as tobacco products, but has provided no details.
Michael Matthew, does an e-cigarette create e-smoke?
It's a vapor.
Is it charged with electronic particles?
No.
Oh, good. I don't want my email account to get sick from the secondhand smoke.
I don't even follow that logic, but apparently the traditional tobacco companies are seeing e-cigarettes as a way of sustaining sales amid growing restrictions for regular cigarettes. The deal reached by EU ministers today would require bigger warning labels and ban menthol cigarettes and special packaging for Slims.
Mike, I don't like to put anything into my lungs except for sweet air.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It beats the carbon monoxide. Do you know that? I'd imagine you guys get a lot of that being out there in the parking lot with all the cars.
And we like it.
I hold my breath a lot, kind of like when I ride the bus. Well, our show has devolved into making fun of public transportation. We should then just move on and say, what do you think about the whole e-cigarette craze going on right now? Email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. We'll read your comments on the section emails from email. Also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. We also have the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. That is where we have links to where to find us on iTunes. Subscribe to us there. Rank the show and comment on this show in iTunes. We also have links to where to find us on Facebook, Yelp, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spreaker, all at mikesdailypodcast.com, as well as the blog and the daily podcast picture. Oh, and we also have a link to that article that was written about the show on voxelectro.com. And yes, we also have a link to the Amazon deal of the day, all at mikesdailypodcast.com.
News Random.
Today's News Random, we look at health issues. And this first story has to do with your own mental health. We've all been through breakups. It just happens. Relationships takes two to tango, but usually there's someone in the relationship that's a bit of a d***. Now, if you are going through a breakup, or if you have been through one, this is going to be interesting for you. If you are going through a breakup, I'm sorry, but it gets better. Don't worry. And it is important to know the 5 stages. It used to be 4, but now there's a 5th one. When I was in college studying communications, as that was my major, at UC Santa Barbara, there was a theory by Steve Duck. His name's Steve Duck. And it was interesting to hear the different steps, because at the time I was going through my first big relationship with a girl, and I didn't realize that, in fact, we were starting to break up. So seeing these steps, I'm like, uh-oh, this is happening to us. But it is very interesting, and if you are going through a breakup, just realize that you are normal, and you are going to go through these steps in some way or another, and at the end, everything turns out okay. So don't worry. But it's interesting here. Follow along. We'll go through these quickly. The 5 steps. The first one is the breakdown phase. Breakdown! Go ahead and give it to me. This is the first step toward relationship breakup. It's characterized by you and your partner's dissatisfaction with the relationship. At least one person perceives that something's wrong with the relationship, but they may not discuss this openly with their partner. Then the second is the intra-psychic phase. No, you don't suddenly both have the power to see into the future. It is when you and or your partner goes through a time of reflection of your feelings towards the other and this relationship, and you struggle internally and begin to question the benefits of being in this relationship. You usually don't show this strife outwardly, but if you do, it's usually shown in the form of increased judgment or hostility and snapping at each other. And if one partner just puts up with all that snapping, he is an idiot, and he should have moved on long ago. What? He or she, that's what I meant to say. Communication with your partner decreases, as we all know. As communication begins to disappear, so does the relationship. While, now this is interesting, communication with other people, friends and family, increases, and possibly with that guy that she's going to end up with? Huh? Or, I mean, if it's the husband that's thinking about leaving, he's talking to the secretary. Oh, we've just found out the plot line for every single Mad Men episode. Then at number 3, the dyadic phase. Oh, that's a big communication word, dyadic. This is when the dissatisfied person confronts the other with their feelings. This stage can be a long or short stage, but it will usually include some discussion on how the relationship can be repaired. And that is if one or the other is willing to do that. Then certain ways maybe try to deal with the relationship issues. The outcome of this stage determines if the relationship breakdown will continue or if they can reach a place where both are satisfied. And then the final phase. Oh, actually, this is the second to the final. This would be the social phase. This is when you decide that the relationship is finished, but aren't sure you want to go through with breaking up. You weigh your options and wonder what life will be like without your relationship, without your partner. You work out an explanation for yourself and others for why the relationship broke down. This is when you come up with all the blaming and all the excuses. And you turn to family and friends for affirmation, support, and advice. Rarely, it says here, will you focus on yourself. It's all about the other partner. And then finally, the grave dressing phase. This is the time of coping with the relationship being over. You need to put the relationship behind you and move on. You create a rationale that's acceptable for you, why the relationship dissolved. You reinterpret events of the past in a way which soothes your feelings of guilt and loss of self-worth and identity, and you rethink their ideas. Above all, in this phase, you have to rationalize your past feelings in a way which decreases the significance of your ex-partner and the failed relationship. You need to protect your self-concept. If you don't complete this phase, you will continue to be plagued with feelings of doubt, guilt, and low self-worth. So it is very important to get past this. How long each phase takes depends on the individual's personality, as well as their attachment to the relationship and to the partner, and the prospects for a new relationship. Those that begin a new relationship right away get through this all much quicker. However, those relationships may not last that long. Rebound? Anyone? These all paraphrased on the website aloftyexistence.wordpress.com. The advice everyone, of course, has is move on. To which I say, easier said than done. One thing that can help you with stress is to get a dog. And one way to deal with stress has been found that is used in airports, and that is bringing dogs into airports. There's a new breed of airport dog. They aren't looking for drugs or bombs. They're looking for people who need a buddy, a belly to rub, or a paw to shake. According to the epochtimes.com and the Associated Press, the San Jose International Airport is widely credited with introducing the first airport therapy dog in the days after September 11, 2001, when flights were grounded. That's interesting, San Jose, because that is a guy that I knew in country music wrote a song about his experience being trapped in San Jose at the San Jose airport after 9/11, and he wrote a song about it, and it actually did absolutely nothing, and I think we were the only radio station that ever played it when I worked in country radio. But anyway, at the San Jose airport entered Orion, owned by a volunteer airport chaplain who got permission to bring the dog to work. He made such a difference, this dog, that San Jose formalized the program and now has 9 dogs. Miami International Airport got on board with the program, and Los Angeles International Airport has 30 dogs and is hoping to expand its program. The dogs are intended to take the stress out of travel, the crowds, the long lines, and terrorism concerns. Says one of the dog owners, you can literally feel the stress levels drop. People start smiling, strangers start talking to each other, and everybody walks away feeling really, really good. The dog handlers are taught to watch for people who fear or dislike dogs, or those who might have allergies. In most cases, people approach the dogs, identifiable by the vests or the bandanas that they wear, and the fact that they're actually standing in an airport walking around with someone and not sniffing for bombs. Los Angeles' dogs, which are featured on trading cards, are varied as its airport passengers. There's a long-haired Dalmatian, a Lab Pointer mix, a Field Spaniel, a Poodle, 3 Australian Labradoodles, a Doberman, and a 150-pound Irish Wolfhound named Finn. That's spelt with 2 N's. A 5-year-old golden retriever, which is used in San Jose, at the San Jose airport, named Henry James, has met a couple of interesting people, including, before departing, a soldier kneeled down and told Henry James, "Okay, buddy, you take care of the house while I'm gone." And also a woman who said her husband of 40 years told her he wanted a divorce that morning, actually wept on Henry James' shoulder. "He sat there, he knew, he can feel," said the owner. In other health news, coffee nectar gives bees a memory buzz. A new study in the UK has found that caffeine in nectar encourages honeybees to remember the scent and come back for more. The nectar of coffee and citrus flowers tend to contain caffeine. Bees don't like it when there's too much caffeine in their food, but a small amount greatly improves their memory of the flower's scent. Remembering floral traits is difficult for bees to perform at a fast pace as they fly from flower to flower. And caffeine seems to help the bees remember where the flowers are. In turn, bees that have fed on caffeine-laced nectar are laden with coffee pollen, and these bees search for other coffee plants to find more nectar, leading to better pollination. I'm sorry, that word's pollination, but I like throwing Z's into words. So caffeine in nectar is likely to improve the bees' foraging prowess. They're hoping that this study can help prevent bee populations declining, and we won't blame me for any of that. I had to get those damn bees out of the chimney, you understand. And our final health news story has to do with your inner rebel. Is it wreaking havoc on your health? This according to Alive, a magazine published in the East Bay in California. Do you sometimes feel baffled by your own unrestrained behaviors and your need for immediate gratification? Meet your inner rebel. You probably know a fair amount about good nutrition, but you may find yourself repeatedly making poor food choices. According to Trina Swerdlow, she gives an overview about rebellious energy and about whether it's being repressed, expressed constructively, or expressed destructively. If you repress your inner rebel or have repressed rebelliousness, that could include an avoidance of taking healthy risks, living a constricted life, feeling energetically frozen, and intensely fearful of what will people think. If you have constructive rebelliousness, that can include taking calculated risks in life, living adventurously yet mindfully, feeling free-flowing energy, and experiencing fear when it's appropriate. But if you have destructive rebelliousness, why, you guessed it, you have unhealthy, dangerous risks in life where you feel indestructible and you act impulsively without weighing consequences, and you feel fearless. She says that many of us remember our own impulsive teen years when we were rebellious and are grateful to have gotten through them. On the other hand, some folks stay stuck in their teenage behaviors and chronically struggle with an inner rebel who continually impacts their health and their relationships in negative ways. So try to be in that constructive rebelliousness camp and you should be fine. And take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning. As we go outside of the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The picture involves, well, it's a drawing of me and the brewmaster, who has just emerged from the root beer vat Actually, yeah, he was in the root beer vat. He's a little bit soaked.
Hello there, everybody. I'm the brewmaster. I make the root beer. Oh, boy.
Brewmaster, you stink of root beer.
Thanks. I call it my eau de toilette.
All right. And, yeah, so the brewmaster and I are discussing privacy, or privacy, if you talk like that. And if you do, thanks for listening to us across the pond, as they say.
Mark, I was just in the root beer vat.
I can see that.
I was making an internet privacy root beer.
Excellent. So the people, the hipsters, are inside enjoying a root beer inside the last place on Earth?
Yeah, they're drinking it right out of the root beer vat.
That's not up to any health codes, I think.
No, it's not.
Okay. So, well, enjoy being thrown in jail once again, Brewmaster, and enjoy the cartoon where we discuss internet privacy on the cartoon. You can find it at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Michael Master, also brewmaster's root beer needs some patchouli.
Sounds like you're sneezing.
Patchouli.
Yeah, it does. Tomorrow we will bring you the segment, The Return of MasterPod Theater. Plus we'll hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer.
Yeah, one time a woman saw right into my spleen. It kind of freaked me out. Do you know that?
Do you even know where the spleen is?
Is it anywhere near my pituitary gland?
Now that's the question for the ages.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!